Hi everyone, it's Grace, and I want to talk to you today about a thing that is very dear and near to my heart, and that is the Twiddle Muff, and what it is, what it's used for, and I'm going to show you a few tips of things that I do on my Twiddle Muffs to give you some ideas. Twiddle Muffs are used to help people with dementia. It could be used for people with anxiety, ADHD, and Alzheimer's. In June, they are going to be having days that especially June 21st, I'm sorry, it's called the longest day. And on that day, they want people to craft doing their favorite thing, do your favorite hobby, whatever it might be. And I thought, wouldn't this be a great day, if you're a crafter, to make a Twiddle Muff? You can make Twiddle Muffs with knitting, crocheting, loom knitting, sewing, anything that you can do that you can make a tube out of. So it's very easy, and to me it's very rewarding. I give my Twiddle Muffs to the nursing homes. My mother had dementia before she passed away, and I wish I had known how to crochet and knew about these kinds of things when she was still alive. I had no idea, but I think it would have brought her some comfort. She was just so much fun. I just miss her, like I guess everyone does when you lose your mom or dad or loved ones, any loved one that you have. So I want to continue doing this, and I want to spread awareness, if I can, to other people, to tell them that there are ways that you can do this on your own. Now, if you want to donate to the nursing home, all you need to do is go into the nursing home, you go to the nurse's desk, and you ask to talk to either the activity director, that's who I talk to, or the head nurse. But the activity director is the main one who takes items that are going to be used for activities. I do not choose who these are going to or how they're going to be used. I believe they use these in a setting where they're watched. I'm really not sure. I just like to donate them. But I went to one nursing home and I asked them, do you have Twiddle Muffs? And they said yes. They knew what I was talking about, and they showed me some, and they had just a few little buttons and things on there, and I showed them one of mine, and I said, I'm making these and I'm wanting to donate. And they were just like, yeah, we'd love to have them. They had the Twiddle Muffs, the Twiddle Mats. It was more affluent, let's say, nursing home. So I went to another one because I'm thinking I'm going to check and see if there might be another one that might have a bigger need. So the next one I went to, they never even heard of a Twiddle Muff. So I showed them mine, I explained it to them, they were so excited. And I'm like, I would like to make some and donate them to you. And so the one I had, I gave it to them, and then I made another one, gave it to them, and that's how it works. I do not, like I said, I do not choose who this is going to go to. But that's neither here nor there. You can give this to a loved one. You could give it to a nursing home like I do, a hospital. There are many places that I'm sure that you can find that would have a need for them. Anyway, I wanted to give you a few little tips of what I do. Now, to start my Twiddle Muff, I use a J hook, or let's go into millimeters. That's a 6 millimeter hook. Susan Bates are my favorite hooks with the bamboo handles. They keep my hands from hurting. What I do is I crochet a chain of 40. And this was used with Red Heart Super Saver and stripes. It's a very nice, warm, soft thread, yarn. And so I start out making, I'll go to this end because I didn't fasten it off so you could see it. I start out making a round. I make a long 40 chain length. Then I make sure it's not twisted, and I go in and I slip stitch it so it's together. Then I start doing half double crochets. after I do half double crochets, I started doing bobble stitches. You could do popcorn stitches, bobble stitches. You can do star stitches. Any type of stitch you want to do that would give a little bit more texture and appeal to the eye. I also like to do front post, back post because that gives a nice texture. Then what I did is I kept that same strand of yarn, this Super Saver yarn, and I picked up a strand of fun fur, and holding the yarn and the fun fur, I just kept going around and around until I felt like I'd done enough. I just dropped the fun fur, clipped it, weaved in my ends, and I waited to go back and cut it off later. Then I just continued going along. I knew I wanted to put things in here, so I did mostly half double crochets. And then on this end, I picked up some boa. It's kind of like, it looks kind of like feathers. And then when I finished that, I went back to doing my half double crochets. When I got finished doing that, I left a long tail. I finished it off, fastened it off, and left a very long tail. Just like you would do if you were going to have a garment and sew the seams up, or if you were doing amigurumi, just leave a tail to sew the body parts on. That's what I do. And I just kind of wound that into a little ball, stuck it inside. Then I started decorating. The decorating to me is the fun part. I did a pom-pom. First of all, I did a little flower and I put the pom-pom on top. And if you have trouble getting your pom-poms not to fall apart, I can show you how I finally figured it out, because mine strands were just coming out. But I can show you a video on how I do that. Then I get all different types of buttons. These are little butterfly buttons that I put on there just to give a little interest. Then I took a scrap, well, I didn't take a scrap of yarn. What I did was I made a swatch, and I incorporated beads into that swatch. Well, I wasn't happy on how loose those beads were. So after I got finished, I think I single crocheted this. Either single or half double, one of the two. And I just added beads to it. Then I stitched this patch on. Again, I left a long tail. You can see on the inside where I've had the sewing, and that's going to be covered, and I'll show you in a minute. I sewed that down real tight. Then I took some thread. As you can see yarn, but I took thread and I tightened these down. Because my husband was sitting there and he said, what if they pulled one off and put it in their mouth and choked on it? And I'm like, you know, that's a very real thing that could happen. So it's on there very tight. But they can still, you can still turn them. You can still pick at them, turn them. A lot of people who have dementia and Alzheimer's, they will pick at their buttons, their skin. If they have an IV, they'll pick the IV out, pull the wires out. So this is just something to keep their hands busy. I also put a pocket on the back, and this they can open, and you can see it's on there nice and tight. I sewed this down real tight, and they can put a picture in there, they could put a little candy in there, or a tissue, pictures of people that they know, or animal pictures, or whatever you think that person would want. So those are some things I did on this one. I never make the same thing twice, it doesn't seem like. Now I'm going to show you, before this is ready to be delivered, I crochet another tube, and let me pull it out. I'll show it to you. I've already attached it to one end. I make this tube. I used yellow, I used Red Heart Soft, I believe, on this one. And I did 40 rounds. I just did half double crochets, and on the inside I went ahead and put a little more boa. Then I measured it to see if it's about the same length. Then I put it inside. You want to put it in, make sure you put it in the right way. You want to have the inside of it right here. This part is going to be the inside, because when you put it in here to sew it, that's the way it needs to be. So this is the wrong side. When I pull it back in here, it will then be on the right side. Notice I left this long loop. This is so that I can single crochet it to the other end of my Twiddle Muff. So let me pull that back through so I can show you what I do. I was talking with Jan Carruthers of Urban Gypsy Crochet. We were doing a hangout and I was showing her this, and she knows that I like to put crinkly paper in these, and I didn't make a thing this time to put the crinkly paper in. A lot of times I'll make a square, put the crinkly paper in the middle, and then put another square to it and sew it together. But she said, why don't you put it in between these two tubes? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So I wanted to show you what the crinkly paper looks like, and I have only found it at this company. You can see that. It's called feltandcraft.com, and I believe they are in California, but I can't be for sure. This, if you didn't read that, it's washer, dryer, and iron safe. So this is going to withstand a lot of abuse that might happen to it. I try to put everything on here where it could be washed easily. So this is what I'm going to do. This is a one I already have. Hope I don't crinkle you out too much. And I'm just going to slide it in between. I think I'm going to cut, let's see, cut a strip, or it doesn't have to be perfect and no one's going to see it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in here. I think I'm going to put it right. It doesn't matter where you put it because it's probably going to move around, and then they kind of have to find it. They're not going to put their hand in there and touch it at all, because now I'm going to take this. Now you can hear it. Other parts you do it, you can't hear it. But that gives sound, so that sensory part of your body is activated. Now what I'm going to do next, and I'm just going to kind of show you just a little bit of this. I'm going to take my stitch marker. These are my favorite kind of stitch markers because they're easy to put in. These are not the real cheap plastic. They are more limber, so they don't break easily. So now this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I take these two ends and I'm going to match. Okay, this is going to be single crochet, and I'm going to match this. Let me see if I can stand up where you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to go into a stitch that's right across. So here we go. Here's one right here. Not sure if you can see that. I'm going to go in that stitch and pull it through. Well, let's do that again. When I'm trying to do something in front of people, I make a mess. Let's go through this stitch. Okay, here we go. Oh, you know what? I need to go through the yellow stitch first. Excuse me. I'm kind of nervous doing this on camera. And then you go to the next stitch. So you go through the yellow stitch first, then you're going to go to the outside stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull it through both of those stitches. Then you have two and you pull it through. You go through another yellow stitch, then you go through another of the colored stitches on the outside, and you're going to pull it through and do single crochets all the way around into the yellow, Here, just go into the yellow and then into the outside and pull it through. So I'll just do a couple more to show you. In the stitch and into the next stitch. I hope that you can see this okay. Stitch. I've never tried doing a tutorial or anything else where I'm actually crocheting. So this is going to hold these pieces together and you'll get faster. You just want to match your stitches up and then you have your inside. And it's nice and secure. Nothing's going to fall out. Before I stop, I'm going to put my stitch marker back in here so that it doesn't pull out. That would not be very much fun to have to try to find it again. The next thing I'm going to do, okay, as you know, I have on the inside, I have that feathery part. So when they put their hand in there, and it doesn't matter which way they put it in, you can hear crinkling in there some of the times. And they can feel that feather part. Another thing that I also put inside my Twiddle Muffs are something to hang from the inside. This time, I crocheted a little octopus. And the octopus is going to go inside the Twiddle Muff, so when they put their hands inside, they can pull on these little tentacles. What I have, this is a binder clip, and you can buy, I bought a box of 100 on Walmart. Not Walmart, Amazon. And what I do is do like this. I put it on the inside. Doesn't matter which way you turn it because they're not going to really see it. So I'm going to put that in there. It'd be easier if I'd already had this single crochet shut, but I'm not going to waste your time doing that. Then I go through a hole on the yellow part, on the inside part. Go through a hole. Oh, there it is. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Seeing my binder clip, in fact. Oh, I thought I had closed it. But I didn't. But what you're going to do, let's try this again. And I think you already know, you're going to go through both of these. And it's a little fiddly. Okay. There's one side of it. Let's see if I can get that other side. Because you want it to come through the outside part. So in case they want to take it off, they can. If it becomes dirty or they want to replace it with something else, they can do that. Okay. Well, I thought I had it. Oh. How much more of my time can I waste of yours? I'm sorry. I think you get the idea. I'll have to do this off camera because I am not able to get it in there while, like I said, it is a bit fiddly. Well, now it's not wanting to. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. If I do it this way, it might be better. Kind of scrunch it up. There we go. And I'm going to put it right here. I might move it when I get off camera, but it's in there. So, when they put their hand inside the Twiddle Muff, they're going to feel a little octopus. And they can pull on it, but they can put their hands on in here and keep their hands warm in the winter time also. So there are different little elements on here that they can mess with. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this and that you enjoyed this. I'm kind of passionate about this, wanting to help as many people as possible, and if you're able to do this, that would be a fantastic thing. Now, those of you who have been with me for a while, I have some sad news. Some of you may remember I made an all shawl for a good friend of mine that was battling cancer, and she lost her battle. and this month, and it's been rather hard. She left behind several children, a 17-year-old, 15-year-old, a 4-year-old, and 2-year-old twins. So please keep them in your mind. Send good thoughts, prayers for the family of Isaac. Isaac was a student of mine. We were very close. He fishes with my husband, and he comes over. So much fun. And his mom was just always laughing. She came over here a couple of weeks before she had passed away, and she was just talking and laughing and just smiling, and she was wearing the all shawl wrapped all around her and keeping herself warm from going for the chemo. But it was hard. It's been a hard month. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. And I'm going to be making a video next of a giveaway. I have reached 500 subscribers, and I would like to thank all of you who have subscribed to my channel. The video will probably go up tomorrow, June 1st, because I want to give it a couple of weeks in the month of June before I end it. So stay tuned. I plan on having a video up tomorrow. I'll probably film it today, put it up tomorrow, just so that it's on June the 1st. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a blessed day. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.